A very good morning, dear children. This is Anindya Roy, and today we are going to study about our next part of the chapter that we were studying about electromagnetic spectrum, that is about types of rays in the electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, so let's proceed. First of all, what is an electromagnetic spectrum? So let's try to understand this. The part of the spectrum beyond the visible light is known as invisible spectrum, and the visible light is called visible spectrum, and the part which is beyond the visible part is known as the invisible spectrum. Okay, so that means this over here is the visible part, and all the others which are in the left and right side of the visible part, they are known as the invisible spectrum part. Okay, and one more thing we can notice over here is that the left side, that is the extreme left side, this side, the wavelength is shorter but the frequency is much high. Therefore the energy of the rays from this side to this side, the energy is higher, and as we go towards the right side, the energy becomes lower but the wavelength becomes more. Okay, so therefore the part of the spectrum beyond the visible light is known as the invisible spectrum. So there are different kinds of rays over here. That is, what are the different rays? The different rays are gamma rays, X rays, ultraviolet rays, this is the visible part, the infrared rays, microwave rays, and the radio waves. Okay, so about each of this we will study one by one. Okay, so let's proceed. So the speed, frequency, and the wavelength, it has a relation in between them, that is C is equal to F into lambda. Okay, as you can see in the screen over here, C is equal to F into lambda, where C is the speed of the light, F is the frequency of the light, and lambda is the wavelength of the light. So if any two are given, you can find out the third one from here. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so you can see here different ranges of electromagnetic waves. So let us see over here what are the different ranges of electromagnetic waves. Okay, so see, the size of the wavelength are nearly about the size of buildings, that is, this is the radio waves and these are the gamma waves. So gamma rays are very small in size, the wavelength is very small, that is nearly equal to an atomic nuclei, and as we go towards this side, slowly the size of wavelength increases in each. As you can see, for comparison these things are given, and the frequency, as you can see over here, the frequency also increases as we go from the gamma ray side to the radio wave side. Okay, see, you can see with the arrows I can show that here you can see 10 to the power 20 and here you can see 10 to the power 4. Okay, and this one over here, this is showing the temperature. Okay, as we go from here to here, the temperature keeps on rising. Okay, next let's proceed. Now let us talk about some of the properties of the electromagnetic waves. So first of all is that they do not require any medium. Okay, first is they do not require any medium. Since they are light waves, so it is not necessary that it has to be in a material medium for that. Okay, they can travel also in the vacuum. Okay, then since they are light waves, so they travel with a speed of 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per seconds. Okay, and they exhibit the properties of reflection and refraction. So these waves follow the properties of reflection as well as refraction. Now what is reflection and refraction, you all know. So they exhibit, means they show the properties of reflection and refraction, okay, since they are light waves, right? Then they are not deflected by electric or magnetic fields. Now since they are pure electromagnetic waves and they do not carry any charge themselves, so therefore they are not deflected or affected by any kind of electric or magnetic fields, okay. Then they are transverse in nature. Their nature is transverse. There are two kinds of waves that we have studied in our, which one, in our standard 9th sound chapter, that is there are two kinds of waves, one is longitudinal and one is transverse, okay. So what is longitudinal and what is transverse? Once again I will tell. The waves which go like this in the form of compression and rarefaction, they are known as longitudinal waves, okay. And those waves which go in this form, that is making crest and trough, these are known as transverse waves, okay. Okay, so till here it is clear, I guess. Now let us proceed. So first of all we will study about gamma rays. As you can see here, so they have the minimum wavelength, that is their wavelength is nearly equal to 0.01 nanometers or 0.1 angstroms, okay. Where they are found in nuclear reactions, as you can see in the image, okay. You can see in this image, they are found in nuclear reactions or cosmic radiations, okay. You can see it is written gamma ray source over here. Cosmic radiations means the radiations which come from cosmic explosions of stars and other nebulas, etc., okay. Then some more properties of gamma rays. They have huge penetrating power. Penetrating power means, like you know that simple visible light is there, it can be blocked by a simple card, right? Means a simple card is opaque to the visible rays. But if we say for the gamma rays, you can see in this diagram that normal alpha rays are coming only till here, beta rays can travel over here, but the gamma rays can pass through both of these, and they can even pass through, they don't pass through the lead, but instead of lead, if we place any other broad steel sheet over here which is around 30 centimeter thick also, if you will bring, then also it can pass it, okay. It has huge penetrating power. Then it cause immense biological damage, okay, means it can produce cancer, okay, and it can also destroy the cells of the body, okay. Immense biological damage it can deal with. And it is used in radiotherapy for cancer, okay. So some low energetic gamma rays are used for the radiotherapy for cancer, okay. For the treatment of cancer we use this method known as radiotherapy, okay. Then next comes the X-rays. As you can see, what are X-rays? X-rays are the particular rays which is just in the right side of the gamma rays. Their wavelength range is 0.1 nanometer to 10 nanometers, okay. As you can see here, 0.1 nanometer to 10 nanometer. They can penetrate through human flesh, but they are stopped by the bones, and that is why when you are taking out X-ray, when we have some fracture or something, then X-ray is used, okay. X-rays, this kind of X-rays are used to see the fracture and all in the bones. Why? Because they can penetrate through the human flesh, but they are stopped by the bones, okay. All right. Then they are used for detection of fracture in the bones. As I have told you earlier, they are used for detection of fracture in the bones. They are used for CAT scan. Now CAT scan means the CT scan only is known as, okay, it is only known as CAT scan. Then it is also used in the airports for scanning, so that anyone is carrying any hidden weapons or not, okay. For that also X-rays are used. let's proceed to the next one. Then comes the ultraviolet rays. Ultraviolet rays are having the wavelength of 10 nanometer to 400 nanometers, means the the right side of the X-rays. How they are produced? They are produced by mercury vapor lamps. Mercury vapor lamps means this kind of street lamps which are there, they are called the mercury vapor lamps, and also in the electric sparks which are produced at the time of welding and produced at the time of lightning also. Okay, then see, they are absorbed by the ozone layer. As we all know that the ozone layer protects the earth by absorbing the harmful ultraviolet rays which is coming from the sun. Now ultraviolet rays is of three kinds. Okay, they are, as you can see in the diagram over here, they are of three kinds: UVA, UVB and UVC. Okay, so UVC, which is the most harmful, that is stopped by the ozone layer. UVB, that is harmful but its maximum part does not reach the surface of earth. Okay, the ozone layer decreases it quite a lot. As you can see in this part, the ozone layer is decreasing it. And the UVA, this one, this reaches the earth. Okay, because this is somewhat helpful for us also for the photosynthesis and production of vitamin D and all, etc. Okay, then if we want to obtain a spectrum of ultraviolet rays, we need to use the quartz prism. This is known as quartz prism. Okay, and they are used for sterilizing purposes, means for what you are using hand sanitizer, for the same reason they are used. As you can see in this image, that the masks and all are kept under the ultraviolet light to make them disinfect them. Okay, then let us proceed. Now comes our very own visible light. We all know about visible light. What is the range of the frequency? What is the range of the wavelength? Wavelength range is 400 nanometer to 800 nanometers, or we can say 4000 angstrom to 8000 angstroms. So it was discovered by Isaac Newton with this experiment. Okay, about this experiment I have explained to you in the earlier class. Then the main sources of these are sun and the flames. Any kind of flame, like you can see over here, I have shown different sources of light. Any kind of flames produce visible light, and obviously the sun also produces visible light. Okay, so uses, they are used to see things and photography. Okay, for vision, obviously visible light is necessary. Without the visible light we cannot see anything, and those who know about photography, they must understand that light is a very important factor for the photography. Okay, then next let's come to the infrared rays. What are infrared rays? They have the wavelength range from 800 nanometer to 10 to the power 7 nanometers, or 8000 angstrom to 10 to the power 8 angstroms. So these are basically heat rays beyond the red part of the spectrum. That means we have the VIBGYOR, that is VIBGYOR. So after this red, whatever the spectrum we have, that is for the infrared rays. Okay, that is for the infrared rays. So infrared rays we cannot see infrared rays, but we can feel it, as from whatever thing we are feeling heat, like in front of fire, if we sit, we are having a sensation of heat which is falling on us. So that heat is actually the infrared rays. So in the same way, we human beings also radiate out few amount of heat rays from our body. So whatever the heat you are getting, whether from the sun or whether from a fire, so they are basically the infrared rays. Okay, so a thermopile is used to detect. Thermopile is an instrument which is used to detect the infrared rays. Okay, and there is a system called infrared imagery. In infrared, when we are seeing things, it looks like this. Okay, as you can see over here, there is a snake and there is a rat. Okay, and in this figure I have showed that the infrared rays produce heating effect. Okay, then rock salt prism is used to obtain the spectrum of infrared rays. This is known as a rock salt prism. Okay, it is used for night photography. Okay, in this image you can see night photography I have shown here. Okay, where visible light is very less, but if we have a particular kind of camera which can detect the infrared rays, then this kind of image is obtained as I have shown over here. Okay, then you know about this, that they are used in infrared lamps and the remote controls. Some of the mobile phones are also having infrared blasters which we can use as remote control for our TV or any DTH service and all. Okay, then next comes the microwave rays. Microwave rays are of the wavelength range this much to this much. Okay, and they are produced by crystal oscillators. This is known as a crystal oscillator. Okay, this thing is a crystal oscillator. Now what is a crystal oscillator? For about this you will be studying in the electronics chapter in higher classes. It is a device which produces microwave rays. Okay, then its uses, it is used in radar and cooking. We all have heard about microwave ovens, right? So therefore it is used in radar. This is called a radar. Now what is a radar? I do not need to tell you, you know what is a radar. And for cooking using microwave ovens. Okay, then comes the last one, that is the radio waves. Okay, radio waves are having the wavelength more than 10 meters. Okay, very wide wavelengths they are having, and they are basically used in television and radio. Television means in our earlier times we used to have like these televisions, right, with antennas. So these antennas over here, they used to detect the radio waves which have been broadcasted. Okay, and also it has been not shown in this radio. This radio also contain a particular antenna. If you have seen, there is an antenna like this. This antenna over here, this also absorbs or it catches the radio waves which is broadcasted through the radio channels. Okay, so this was all about the types of rays in the invisible spectrum. So after this you go through the chapter and go through the points which is given in the book about all the kinds of rays, its uses and its sources. Okay, this is very important. Questions can come from here. Okay, so rest we will study in the next chapter.